Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome inside the Greenfoot Energy Center here in Moncton, New Brunswick, as we get set for some U16 action between the Moncton Thunderbirds and the Voyageurs Hockey Club. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports, moments away from Canada. I'll leave you with that, and we'll be back here for game time in a few moments.
Please rise and stand on the good behalf of the flag on the back.
And welcome back here after O'Canada as we get set for puck drop between the Thunderbirds and the Voyageurs. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Carruthers as we get set. Moments away here from puck drop, and we are underway. Here on Super Bowl Sunday, I'd like to thank you for tuning in here, as I guess we could be your pregame show as matchup here is underway. Thunderbirds trying to break out. Here's a shot from distance, tipped on, rebound, babbling around, and that'll be held on to there for a whistle by number 33. Getting the start, Cohen Boudreau. Coming into this game, he's got a 1-10 record on the season. His save percentage is at .909, and the goals against average currently sitting at 363. Here's a chance right on. Fanned on that as Osmond had a chance in front. Couldn't capitalize as puck trying to work out Count. Leading point getter for the Voyageurs, sending back down below the goal line, where it's picked up. The Voyageurs here with a little bit of ozone pressure to start the game. Thunderbirds trying to clear, unable to. Nicholson takes a bump from Cowan there. Is out. Here come the Thunderbirds. Fortin shot off of the skate, and a save there coming off of Jackson Gallagher Temple, who gets the start here this afternoon for the Voyageurs. It's worked back into the neutral zone. And back here come the Thunderbirds. Nicholson for Fortin. Had it poked away from him by Hall. Hall will chip it up for Cowan. Over the neutral zone now and over the blue line. Cowan gets it poked off of his stick back into the neutral zone. Reverse back. O'Shea. He'll play it wide, and a shot there from distance steered away by Gallagher Temple. Hall tried to poke it in, but Martin Carroll sending it back into the Voyageurs zone where they'll regroup. Here, Snow. Snow up through the neutral zone, now in over the blue line. He'll send it back below the goal crease of Boudreau. Clear back to the point. Hillier walks, shoots, and it's blocked by Chamberlain. Hall steps in, plunging it back down in to the Thunderbirds zone. O'Shea in the corner, one hands it up the wall. Martin Carroll leaves it there, and out come the Thunderbirds. McNaughton as Blay will dump it in offside. They'll be forced to tag up as the Voyageurs. Free breakout for them. And they'll elect to dump it in at center. Peel off for a change. McDonald in there on the forecheck. He'll stick with it. It's Colton McDonald in the forecheck, trying to create some havoc. He's back into the neutral zone. The Voyageurs control. McDonald up over the blue line. Has numbers. Muse drives the net. McDonald below. He'll wait around the far side, centering it in front. Muse just steered it wide. Cowan to it first in the corner. He's tied up. McDonald centers. Muse leaves it. Morrison from the point activating. Gets a shot away and a save by Boudreau. Denies a chance there from the defenseman sneaking in from the point. That puck cleared. No icing, is it? Officials saying they could have made a play of as it bounced over the stick. So play continues. Thunderbirds now with a chance, trying to walk off the wall. Losing an edge was Lance. As here's Saunier for the Voyageurs up through the neutral zone, chipping it in. He'll give chase this time as his team change. Right off the bench, DeMel trying to set things up, unable to find the man in front. Saunier was trying to wait for it. Here's Wayneveld. Pressured by Saunier. Rivari in there to help out DeMel, far side. Centers off the skate. That time off the skate of the captain this season for the Voyageurs, wearing number 6 for them this season. Here's Carew. So he has it behind his net. He'll wheel, has some time. The Thunderbirds forced to tag back up on a delayed offside. Arsenault sending it right back in deep. Nice little stop up there. Korhoski. He'll send it across to the far side. Picked up DeMille. Down low, a shot there. Steered away. As that'll be flipped up by Steves off the glass. Matthews trying to poke it in. He does. Sent right back to the neutral zone. Here's Parsons. Learmouth dumping it in. They're forced to tag up once again. DeMille playing it back for Hall. Hall below his goal net. Using his net for some, I guess, coverage as he works it back up into the neutral zone. Over the blue line, here's a chance for the Voyageurs. Osman try to toe drag, got it poked away and back into the neutral zone. Here's Cowan. Leading point getter for the Voyageurs this season. It's a nice move around one. Here's Cowan. Braden Cowan centers, doesn't connect. All the way out to the far side and into the neutral zone. Good job to stick with it. It was O'Connor. But it's turned back. Steves up off the wall. Steves, he'll play it across. And back here come the Thunderbirds. Up over the line, trying to find someone to the middle there. Stepping up for the point, and a shot there steered away. Good job there by Jackson Gallagher Temple. Big hit there in the corner. Physicality hasn't been picked up here yet so far, but in the game last night, I heard a little bit of rumblings of some scrums, and we'll see if that has some carryover here today. Peters centers into the neutral zone, and that'll be sent in by O'Connor. He'll peel off for the change. They'll get some fresh legs out there for the Thunderbirds. Morrison almost had some trouble with it. He had the grade A chance on his last shift as he jumped in from the point. Ross, he'll play the body, leave the puck there. Snow runs into a wall there as Morris trying to make himself available. Cycled back down low. Ross up over top of the circles trying to find the man. As Carnew back up into center ice. He'll leave it for his man. Korhoski gets dumped down as he gets it sent in. Ross had it played around him by Blay, but took off a skate and right back into the Thunderbirds zone. up the wall. Cousins had to go off of his skate. Snow sidestep to check, but he didn't sidestep that one. As back here comes pressure from the Thunderbirds, but Korhoski up over the blue line. Nice little push there off the back foot and giving him some separation. But it doesn't look like he's skating by opening up like that, but he's using his edges to propel himself forward, and Korhoski with a nice chance there. 13:03 remaining, still no score in the game. Some fans starting to file into the seats here inside the Greenfoot Energy Center. 4-pad. I believe it used to be called the Superior Propane Center back in my playing days. It's McDonald. They'll play it around. Hillier reversing back for Hall below the goal line. Hall chipping it up the boards. McDonald up off the glass, now into the neutral zone. Wainfeld had stepped up. Here's Muse trying to make a move. Muse, and it bounces just on to the goaltender in Cohen Boudreau, who holds on for the whistle. Jackson Gallagher Temple coming into this game. He's got a 1-10 record, a goals against average of 5.04 and a save percentage of .841. We'll get the start here today against the Thunderbirds, as these two teams sitting very close. Thunderbirds coming in with a 4-19 record. The Voyageurs with a 6-19 record, so just a few games separating them, just by 3 points separating them. So should be an interesting game here as a high stick called count. And face-off will come outside of the zone. Over to the far side in front of the penalty boxes. Just trying to get a couple of the roster names updated here as it gets sent down. Steered into the corner by Boudreau. Steves makes a move. He'll stop up. They'll play it all the way down. Won't have enough for icing. Morrison races back. Not enough draw on it as Mazeral pressuring that puck. Good forecheck here. Steve steps in, down for Mazeral. He'll delay. Waiting, shooting, and a blocker save. Another chance off a skate, didn't find its way to the net. This time, it'll be back the other way. Now here, if they can get up going, Voyageurs would have a 2-on-1, but one's able to is DeMille. Trying to regroup in his own zone, turns it over. Mazeral, and a delayed call upcoming here is an interference. It looks like it's going to be as the man driving the net ran into Morrison, and Morrison's going to go for an interference, and we're going to see our first power play of the game. The Voyageurs will be penalized first, and we'll see the power play of the Thunderbirds coming into this game with a 14. They're sitting 14% on the power play so far on the season. The penalty kill for the Voyageurs sits at 78%. Mazeral on the power play. He'll dig in. The draw. O'Connor shot steered away and cleared out by the captain all the way down into the Thunderbird zone. Blais. He'll try to break things up. Back him into the neutral zone. Lance up over the line and right back into the neutral zone. Theriault drops, gets it back. Theriault was looking for it, then overskated by the Voyageurs, and somehow the Thunderbirds stick with it, and they gain the offensive zone. Blais one-timer sent high up over top of the goal mouth. Back up. Here's Theriault on the half wall. Waiting. He'll delay. Looking for his options. He'll put it back down low. Mazeral back for Theriault. Theriault to the point. Blais. He'll play that across. He'll be walked in. Down low. Lance between his legs. Sent it high over top of the net. What a chance there. Lance with a nifty little move in tight. And that's cleared back all the way down. Blais will have to go back and regroup in his own zone. Mazeral will swing on his back end. Pass to Mazeral, pressured. He'll play it right up the wall. Got to be careful, and that's too many men as the man jumped over early, and O'Connor hadn't got off the bench, and as a result, we're going to see some 4-on-4 hockey here inside the Greenfoot Energy Center 4-pad. Too many men on the ice will take away the Thunderbirds' power play. So some 4-on-4 hockey. The ice is going to open up here a little bit. Face-off won by the Thunderbirds. Trying to work it up. It's turned over as Price had it. He'll dump his man. There's a good forecheck from number 11, Luc Saunier. It's back to action. Here's Fortin below the goal line. He'll kick it back to the point. Price walks the zone up top. Back here for Zwainfeld. Zwainfeld backhand shot into the chest. And that time it was held onto by Jackson Gallagher Temple for the whistle. Face-off will stay inside of the Voyageurs zone. As Saunier is forced to go back on, and so is Hall. I don't know what is going on down there. Cousins wins it back. Price lets a shot go and a glove save calmly by Gallagher Temple. 9:30 exactly remaining here in the opening 20 minutes of action. Still no score. 4-on-4 action continuing here for about 13 seconds. And then it'll be an abbreviated power play for the Voyageurs. Hall had it played through him back into the neutral zone. Back up here for Fortin. As Fortin now killing, will dump it all the way down. Carew will get it and set up the power play breakout. Swinging with some speed. Osmond down the far side wall. He'll look to set things up. He'll center, and a chance there, and a nice save by Boudreau. That clears right up the middle of the ice, all the way down. Learmouth will pressure, and a high stick will be called on the Voyageurs as the puck was touched with a high stick all the way back on the clearing attempt, and as a result, as Gallagher Temple was the first one to touch it, it will be a high sticking call. Face off, won by the Voyageurs. They'll set up. Cown's going to swing to his backhand, as it'll be played over here for Osmond. Stops. Parsons offside as Carnew in over the line. Wasn't able to hold up in time. Parsons didn't think the man was going to slow down, as they were offside there at the line. Face off will go just below us. One back at Carew, sorry. He'll drop it off. Osmond to the middle. Top of the blue line. He shoots. It's tipped. I believe that went off the stick of the man parked out in front. That was Ethan Parsons. And up and out of play. Face off to the far side. One back. Voyageurs set up. Now the Voyageurs coming into this game with a power play currently sitting at 15%. And the Thunderbirds coming into this game with a penalty kill currently sitting at 87%. So an impressive power or penalty kill so far this season. Just under 90% for the Moncton Thunderbirds. As that clearing attempt held just outside of the line and sent right back in by Morrison. Back to full strength here. As out of the box, Nicholson will join his team on the bench. That shot sent wide back down into the corner. Centering, trying to get it out front was number 20, Darcy Uvari. Is back. Here comes Mazeral. Over top of the blue line, drops it off. Fortin cycling it back down low. It's turned over. Out back into the neutral zone. Uvari will dump as the Voyageurs look to get right back here on the forecheck. Under half a period remaining in the opening period. Blaze to the far side corner. He'll chip it up. Terrio trying to knock it down. I don't think he got a stick on it. It's played. Olmstead for Saunier. He gets taken down by Mazeral as he crossed over the blue line. Uvari centering off the skate back into the corner. Mazeral. He'll backhand it from the far corner to the short side. It's picked off. Hall activating, centering, and they score. What a finish. DeMille make it 1-0 for the Voyageurs as Blake DeMille with his 4th goal on the season will give them the 1-goal lead here. 6:53 remaining in the opening period, and that will be the opening goal of the game. A nice feed from Hall. Hall will pick up his 5th assist on the season, but it'll be Blake DeMille from Hall here to open up this one here on Super Bowl Sunday. I'd like to thank you for tuning in here, as it's either, it was DeMille from Hall, as that puck will be centered. Back over the line. Here's a shot up off and all the way over top of the mesh this time and down where you see the fan run there at the right part of your screen. He comes up with the puck right there as he walks back with it. So Hall will pick up his 5th assist as the D-man activated in from the point, centered out in front, found Blake DeMille. And that's why we are up, or why they are up 1-0. Snow. Pressured there, Price centered for Matthews. He'll go all the way back to the far side point. A shot there from Zwainveld, steered away. Good forecheck here by the Thunderbirds, looking to respond. Chamberlain back up to the point. Zwainfeld's shot. That one I don't think found its all the way to the net. Is back here comes Snow through the neutral zone. Now over the blue line to his backhand. He'll chip it into the corner. Him and Zwainfeld are going to battle for it. Good job there. A little bit of a size difference from Conroy Snow against Zwainfeld, but he was right in there trying to battle that puck out. Matthews drops, Price following it up, shoots just wide past the glove side, as that might have been the best opportunity so far for the Thunderbirds. As out come the Voyageurs, the goal scorer, DeMille. He'll play it across, a shot there, and it fluttered in to the chest of Cohen Boudreau off the stick of Lachlan Ross. Face off, one back by the Voyageurs. Cleared out though. Karu couldn't hold the line as it's chipped in. Now here's a chance. Cousins will forecheck that puck as he gets it back down low. Cousins to the point under the stick of Peters and all the way down. Steves, he'll get his feet moving behind his goal net. He'll stop up using his net for refuge as he'll chip it up into the neutral zone. Cousins back in over the line as Cousins was the one that brought it back in, and an offside still called. So I don't know if I correct me if I'm wrong, but if the team brings it into their own end, that would take away the ice or offside call. So maybe a little bit of a word there to the official from the Voyageurs bench saying, hey man, they brought that puck in themselves. Why is that still offside? Because if the players are in and the Thunderbirds bring the puck back into their own zone, that takes away the offside. As it's cleared back up into the neutral zone, off the skate Steves gathers it up inside his blue line. He'll play it up. Back. Here comes Cousins. Toe drag shot. It's Nicholson. Had it go off into the corner. Fortin running over the man there, was taking the worst of that. Was number 5, Olmstead. He has it now. Olmstead runs into Nicholson as he chips it back. As the man tried to line up Osman, who sidestepped the check there at the blue line. Osman tied up with Peters. There's a chance coming. No call on the play there as the stick of Peters was tied up into the chest of Olmstead, and that's going to be a call now as cross-checking call coming up here. As they missed the hooking call all the way back up the ice, but they got the cross-check Osman on the retaliation, and it'll be a cross-checking call and another power play upcoming for the Thunderbirds. We'll see if they can capitalize here, try to tie this game up at 1. Puck one back, trying to find its way to the net. It'll be played around here for Terrio. Terrio waits, fans on the pass, and it's cleared out by Snow. Conroy Snow currently has no points on the season, but out here killing penalties, so not all players can be on the score sheet, but it's the little things, killing penalties that matter, and a chance here, and they score. What a feed and what a tip-in. Terrio makes it a 1-1 game, his 14th goal of the season, a one-hand tip-in on a great feed. I believe Mazeral who sauced it over there, and Terrio reaching out with one hand, tips it in, and we're knotted at 1 apiece. A power play goal for the Thunderbirds. It's going to be number 7, Kobe Terrio, off the draw. A little bit of pressure here as it's sent around Matthews. Up top, Horkowski off of his shot, clear back into the neutral zone. It'll be picked up and dumped in by the captain for the Thunderbirds this season in Zwainveld. Thunderbirds now with some pressure here, trying to get some more offensive zone time. It's Korhosky playing it up out of the reach of Uvari. Zwainfeld looking for it in his feet. He'll backhand it just outside the line. O'Connor bring it right back in. As it's played back. Here's Learmouth gets center. He cross-checks the man. It's going to be a call as Homestead goes down. Learmouth is going to go to the box. A delayed call upcoming as it's touched up by the Thunderbirds. And it looks like it's going to be Learmouth to the box, too, for cross-checking with 2:06 remaining, as the Voyageurs will get a chance to answer and get the lead back here on the power play. 6 seconds separating the penalty clock and the game clock. Face off to the blocker side of Boudreau. Hall will line up behind the centerman, and Parsons will be forced to come in as the toes of McDonald were in the circle. They'll wave him out. Shot there from distance, right into the chest, held onto for a whistle. So Learmouth will get it for cross-checking, as I'm going to try to see who got the assist on the Thunderbirds goal. The most recent goal of the game, as it's cleared off the draw by the Thunderbirds. Back down, the Voyageurs are going to have to regroup. Hall will set behind his net. He'll leave for Osman. Osman, cross ice off the stick, up into the penalty box, and out of play for stoppage. Looks like the face-off. It's going to go all the way back down into the Voyageurs zone, so it's going to be a short-handed offensive zone draw now for the Thunderbirds. It's won by the Voyageurs to the wall. Parsons had it go under the triangle of his stick and sent back. Osmond gathers up as he gathers his speed. Osmond down the far side. Voyageurs gets caught up in the skate of the official and turned back. Zelrich set. Hall for Osmond. Leaves it for Cowan. Had it played away from him. Cowan, the leading point getter. He's got 8 goals, 18 assists for the Voyageurs this season as he gets his feet moving north through the neutral zone. And a move at the line. Cowan lets a shot go, and he's going to go to the box. And that'll bring us right back to some 4-on-4 hockey with 1:07 remaining. Braden Cowan to the box for unsportsmanlike with 1 minute and 7 seconds remaining. That penalty will carry over into the second period. But for now, for about 1 minute and 2 seconds, I guess, 5 seconds separating the first penalty for cross-check into Learmouth. And we will be 4-on-4 here for pretty much the remainder of the opening period. Second time they've gone 4-on-4 here in the opening period. Here's Fortin. He'll play it over to the far side. It'll be worked up. Here come the Thunderbirds. Over the line. Nicholson. Pressured by Carew in the corner. Carew. Nice play there for Saunier. 40 seconds remaining, opening period. Saunier up through the neutral zone. Has Ross with him. A shot there from distance. It's going to be easily held onto by Boudreau for the whistle. Saunier wins it back, but it's good job on the second effort by Cousins to catch up to that puck. Here's Cousins. Trying to get around the man there. Homestead, he's going to take him down, and it's going to be a 4-on-3 now. As Cousins pestering the puck, creating havoc, and will draw the call, tripping. It looks like Olmsted to the box. 4-on-3. And with 22 seconds remaining in the first period, the Thunderbirds with a chance here. Offensive zone draw. Try to take the lead as they trailed by 1, tying it up now, trying to get their first lead of the game. It's one back. Terrio, he was the goal scorer. He'll drop it off. Maswell walks down, shoots at a pad save, and cleared out. Good job to clear it down out of harm's way was number 8, Jaden Hall. He has the assist as back to 5-on-3 here as it gets chipped in, and that'll do it here for the opening 20 minutes of play. So after 20 minutes of play, we're tied up here at 1 apiece. Goals coming off the stick of number 19, Blake DeMille, his 4th of the season. And for the Thunderbirds, Covey Terrio, his 14th of the year. And we'll be back here for a second period of action after this short intermission. And welcome back inside the Greenfoot Energy Center here in Moncton, New Brunswick, as we get set for the second period of action between the Thunderbirds and the Voyageurs. The Voyageurs 1 point behind the Valley Wildcats, but the Wildcats do have one game in hand. So an important win here for them, trying to get ahead of them to take over 10th place, as the Moncton Thunderbirds trail the Voyageurs actually by 3 points, but they have one game in hand. So a big game here as playoff time just around the corner, is obviously neither team wanting to play the higher seeded team. It's one back to the point. Here's Blay walking in, fans on it. Terrio stepped up and was unable to send it back. Now here's a short-handed chance to his backhand, and a big toe save by Boudreau. Net off its bearings. A 5-on-3 short-handed partial breakaway. Well, what a chance there for number 8, Jaden Hall, the defenseman. Already has an assist in the game here this afternoon, looking for a goal to add on. Try to give his team their second lead of the game. They led early, but now they're trying to kill off a 5-on-3 for the next 3 seconds. So they successfully kill off the 5-on-3 now to the 5-on-4 here for about 44 seconds. Uvari, he'll play it across Cowan. Shot just rattles around to the boards and out into the neutral zone. Karyu turns it over, 410, toe drags, shoots, sends that wide past the blocker side pad. Zwainfeld at the point. He'll go D to D, and a shot there is blocked by Snow. Conroy, Snow, Carnew tied up. The Voyageurs wanting a call as Carnew still tied up. And it's a good read by Snow, trying to chip it out. Conroy Snow will battle with Zwainfeld. Conroy Snow has showed that he's not scared of the size differential. Is back to 5-on-5. Carnew hits the man out of the box. Here's a 2-on-1. Snow, he's going to drive the net. Count shoots as Ostlund out of the box gets a chance. Snow battling, turns it over, sticking with it. Good job there by the Voyageurs. Off the bench, Hall had it go under his stick and back into the neutral zone. Snow and Zwainfeld got mixed up a little bit behind the play, as Zwainfeld will dump that puck all the way down. It's going to be an icing charged to the Thunderbirds. The Voyageurs successfully kill off the 5-on-3. We remain 1-1 here inside the Greenfoot Energy Center. Morris on the offensive zone draw. Looks like he'll face off against Fortin. It's rimmed around to the far side. Cousins, who created the 5-on-3 on a good forecheck, trying to work it out, wasn't able to. McDonald pressuring. Muse in there as well. Puck turned back up. It'll be rimmed around to the short side. Trying to hold it in. Nicholson goes back, loses an edge, plays it not far enough up though, as now that puck up to Cousins, far side blue line. That's going to be offside as Fortin crossed over the line and dumped in. Olmstead, he'll leave it up on the half wall, trying to work it up. Here's McDonald picking up the loose puck, has Morris with him. McDonald and Muse. Muse is going to drive the net. McDonald's shot cleared away by Peters. McDonald picks it up. Delayed call upcoming here. Looks like the Voyageurs are going to head back to the power play. And it's going to be a hook on Nicholson from the looks of where the referee was pointing. And the Voyageurs to the power play here, tied up at 1:17:03 remaining on the clock. Here in the second period, a hooking call to Nicholson. He'll head off to the box. Nicholson, 5 goals, 1 assist this season. Sits over there as Uvari holds the line for DeMille, the goal scorer for the Voyageurs. Back for Uvari, shot there, that's up high over top of the net. Clearing attempt by Peters, held in at the line. Glove to stick, gets a stick back on it, so it takes away the hand pass but unable to connect with DeMille as it's sent back all the way down by Chambers. Carew forced to go grab that puck below his goal line as he'll wheel it up into the neutral zone. The captain leading the way here. Carew, nice move, but unable to keep control of the puck as it bobbled its way in and trickled its way down and held on to. Good job there to stick with it. Cohen Boudreau right in, and Carew tried to make a move to the middle, just couldn't get past the man. And it's going to be, looks like they're going to switch here. Carew going to go to his one-timer side and step in a little bit there. Face off one, Stevens. He'll rim that hard around to the far side and all the way down. See, that's where you take the risk of switching for the one-timers. That man will force to try to hold it in on his backhand, where Saunier would have been over there to get it on his forehand. So the risk you take swapping the D-man, trying to hit the one-timer potentially, is Stevens. Fans on the clearing attempt. Ross turns it over, back for Saunier. Saunier to Carew. Carew takes a shot, a nice block there from Learmouth. Off the glass, and another penalty upcoming as cross-check. Looks like both of them are going to go as the stick is shattered. It looks like that was Peter. So Peter's to one box, and trying to get a number there. Looks like number 19 for the Voyageurs, Blake DeMille, will sit away from on the other side. So it'll stay 5-on-4 here for 52 seconds. Coincidental offsetting penalties. There's a battle in front of the net. Two, where both players are going to get called for the cross check. And it'll be another offensive zone trial. This time Osman. Or sorry, Olmsted, I believe. Or no, that's Cound. Digging in there, O'Shea. He'll rim it around. Stepping in, unable to get it out. Good pinch by Hall. He'll drop it off. Cound back for Hall. Loses it in the feet of the official. Clearing attempt, takes a funny bounce off the glass to the point. And sent down by Martin Carroll. Gallagher Temple will leave that as out comes Osman. Down the far side. Osman, toe drag to the outside. Good stick by O'Shea, poking it in the corner. Osman up though with it to the point. Hall one-timer, it's blocked. In the slot there, Steves will send that puck all the way down. As that'll be left there. Gallagher Temple will leave it. Osman through the neutral zone. He'll dump it in off the end wall. Price to it first. That'll do it for the penalty. Is out of the bench. Here's Theriault going to get to the puck first. No icing. Theriault switched with Nicholson, who came out of the bench or the box, as Price at the point. Down low for Theriault. He centers. Learmouth shot as it's fanned on. Couldn't get all of that as he had to stick there. As back inside the Thunderbird zone. Bobbling puck gathered up by Cound. He sidesteps a check at center. Learmouth plays it back. Here's Price inside his ringette line. He'll high flip it. High sticking. That'll get taken away though as the Thunderbirds touch it first. Chip back. O'Shea inside his own zone. He fans on the breakout attempt. Snow in there pressuring. Ross in there as well as it's played around him. Back here comes Mazeral for Theriault. Theriault's shot there sent high over top of the net. Zwainfeld trying to play it back down deep. It's Morris though for the Voyageurs back over the blue line. A shot there is blocked. Zwainfeld plays it around for Ross as Zwainfeld and Morris get tied up below the goal line. Zwainfeld and Morris now once again centering pass. Snow had that shot go wide, and the ref just going to take everyone here this afternoon. And another coincidental penalty coming up. I didn't see what happened. Looks like they just kind of got tied up though as Ross is going to go to the box. Head contact will be the call for both of them. 13:37 remaining in the second period. As they have a couple words over on in the penalty box. 13:37 remaining in the second period, as just mentioned. Coincidental penalties It'll be 5-on-5 here, so they'll have to wait for a whistle to come out of the box as the two that were just in there serving the Coincidentals are back on their respective benches. O'Connor down the far side wall. Karu plays a lot of minutes for the Voyageurs. He'll play it up the wall. Osmond centers. Cowan drops it off as the Voyageurs look to get on the offensive zone attack. It's cleared away to the wall. Karu at the blue line. Here's a 3-on-1 for the Thunderbirds as Matthews couldn't control it cleanly. A good defensive play there to break that up was number 4 on the back end for the Voyageurs. No name here on the roster, so I'll have to try to get an update on that. See if I can see the last name. As here's a chance for the Voyageurs, a shot, rebound, and sent just wide. There's a good chance there off the stick as that puck gets cleared up and out of play. As that last chance for the Voyageurs coming off the stick of number 16, I believe. Or sorry, number 18. A good chance there. That's Kean Osmond. Or sorry, no, that was Parsons with that chance, but Hillier wearing number 4. On my roster sheet, it says number 25, so maybe a little bit of a number change throughout this season as Nicholson stopping up inside the line. I don't know how that was offside as the puck was inside the blue line. And so I don't know what happened there as he made the move inside the line, never brought the puck back out. Nicholson will, or sorry, Fortin will dig in for the draw. Face off, cleared all the way back down into the Voyageurs zone. It's controlled. It's worked D to D, up the wall. Chipped around the man there was Muse. Morris up into the bench. Will stop play. And the face-off will go right back to where it just was dropped. Peters with the fresh lumber after breaking in. Here's a chance and a save there. Another chance, rebound, cleared away. Muse. And back here come the Voyageurs, 2-on-2. Chipping that in around Steves. Smart play there, not trying to turn it back up the other way. As McDonald leaves, Morris shot off the leg there. I think it hit his own player. Morris drops it. Fortin up to the neutral zone. He'll dump it in. He'll take a hit from Morrison. So Morrison, and Muse all out there together. The triple M's out there for the Voyageurs. Blaze. They'll play it D to D. Trying to find it and working it right back here for Blay. Up for Nicholson all the way down. No icing as the stick got lifted of the Thunderbirds player. So here's Morrison now. He'll wheel it up the middle of the ice. Stretch pass all the way down. And that'll go all the way for icing as Uvari couldn't get a stick on it. As Ross and Price are going to join their teammates back on the bench after serving the coincidental head contact penalties. Mazeral, offensive zone draw. It's one back to the far side point. O'Shea. He'll send that around. Here's Lance below the goal line. He'll play it around. Mazeral shoot looking back door. Terrio is sneaking in as out come the Voyageurs. Played back. Here's O'Shea. Inside his ringette line. He'll move it quickly up for Terrio, who had it just go off the tip of his stick. And it's picked up the Voyageurs trying to get it back. Here's Lance with a good stick. Turning it over and losing a little bit of a edge there and losing the handle on the puck. Karu reversing. Trying to work it out from the far side. Kahorski turns it over. Here's Blay walking in, shooting, sniping. And what a goal. And the Thunderbirds lead by 1 And what a snipe from the back end. Elliot Blay, his second goal of the season. And an important one here as it gives them a 2-1 lead. Elliot Blay walking in from the point and an absolute snipe from number 22 on the back end. Just his second goal of the season. And what a nice one that was. He walked in and sniped it short side over top of Jackson Gallagher. Temple and the Thunderbirds with their first lead of the game. 10:20 remaining here in the second period. I believe the assist is going to go to Ryland Cousins. I think I heard number 21. I'll give you the official call here in a few moments when I get a sec to check the game sheet. As out come the Thunderbirds now with a little bit momentum and some energy in their legs after that snipe from their D-man. Down low. It'll be worked up. Zwainfeld trying a quick shot. Fanned on it. Worked out, though, as a spinning shot as that puck worked its way to the point. So that man gets taken down. Hall looking for a call. There's Voyageurs with a chance back the other way. McIntosh gets bumped off the puck there by Parsons as it's a high flip now. Chamberlain's going to try to race for it. Hall to it first. Pressured by Chamberlain. Hall reverses. Hillier up the wall. Nice little touch there for Cowan. He'll work it up over the line. Cowan to the outside. Waits, centers, pad save, and another save. Boudreau coming up big, keeping his team up by 1. Here's another chance. Parson moved in the slot, had it knocked away from him. At the point, Hall turns it over. Here's Steves for the Thunderbirds, back through the neutral zone. Steves cuts, dives, no call on the play there. As play continues, back, here's a chance. Ross is going to drive the net. As it's Parsons turning it up for Cowan. Cowan lets a shot go, and it'll be sent back. Here's O'Connor in the middle, finds Learmouth. Learmouth up ahead for Price. Back over the blue line. Here's Price, lets a distance shot go. That's wide. Around to the short side, DeMille. Open the scoring here for the Voyageurs, but 2 unanswered goals from the Thunderbirds has them up by 1. Centered. Snow got a stick on it, no icing as it goes all the way down. Peters below the goal. They'll play it around for Steves on the half wall, chipping it up all the way down. That looks like it's going to go right on net, and it will, and it'll be held on to by Gallagher Temple for the whistle. And some action back and forth here this afternoon, folks, as game's going back and forth here. And the game last night was a 3-1 victory for the Voyageurs. So close game last night. Now it's a 2-1 lead here today for the Thunderbirds. So they'll win the offensive zone draw. They'll play it around below the goal line. Here's Matthews cycling it back down. Centering pass, trying to find the D-man, I believe, as it goes all the way down past Peters. Steves pressured there once again. Conroy Snow creating havoc. Not scared. A little bit of the undersize, but going toe-to-toe in every battle is number 10 in blue. As it's played back up into the neutral zone. Now here comes the Voyageurs. Back over the line, DeMille and Morrison. O'Connor plays it back. A high flip, stepping up on the far side. Morrison had to wait as Steves plays it back into the neutral zone. As Ross is going to have to re-tag up as a delayed offside. As that'll allow Boudreau to grab his stick that had gone and fallen in behind the net. McDonald will play it back to his point man, who now Karu up through the neutral zone as he gathered his speed, as that's as far as he'll get. Following up and dumping it in was Muse. Thunderbirds looking to get out of their own zone, right up the middle of the ice all the way down. Will it have enough for icing? Yes, it will, as Karu to it first. 6:42 remaining in the period. An icing call charged against the Thunderbirds. They'll have to face off here in their own zone. It's one around. O'Connor on the half wall. He'll center it all the way back down. Will that one have enough for icing? Yes, it will. As Korhosky gets to it first, it'll go all the way back down into the Thunderbird zone here once again. As I got the confirmation here, it looks like it's going to be Elliott Blaze second goal, and it's going to be Terrio's second point of the game. As he picked up a goal now, he's going to pick up an assist as well. So a goal and an assist for number 7 in white. He's down low trying to sneak it on the wraparound attempt. As Steves has a good battle there with Ryan Morris, the assistant captain for the Voyageurs. Face-off will stay inside of the zone. Morris digging in, has Muse and McDonald out there. Karu on the back end as well. Korhosky, he'll step in and keep it back down and below the goal line. Puck out to the blue line. Nice little touch there as it's left for Fortin. Fortin toe drag, shoots, and right into the breadbasket and held on to by Gallagher Temple. Jackson Gallagher Temple allowing 2 goals. Not quite sure on the shot category for sure. They don't display it here inside the arena, but I'm sure the shots have been probably just about even. Chances coming on both ends of the ice, and for both teams, it's been a adventurous game. Few penalties each way. Is off the draw, battled for, one back. Here's Nicholson, waits, shoots, it's blocked. Nicholson across the blue line. Blay has a shot blocked now. Uvari on the breakaway. I don't know how he stayed onside there. He'll center it to the point. Now it's worked back here. Hillier steps in, shoots. It's blocked by Blay. So Blay now with a goal, doing it on the defensive side to the point. Hall waits, has it poked into his feet. Good job to stick with it was Hall. He'll play it down low. DeMille centers off the skate of Saunier and back out into the neutral zone as it's poked out and sent right back. Got to be careful there. Cousins gave Hall a shot a little bit on an awkward distance from the boards, and that could have been a dangerous play. As now here comes Fortin. Toe drag shot sent high over top of the net. Nicholson to the middle. Cousins poking it down into the corner. He's trying to center. It's picked off to the point. Blocked. As the Thunderbirds controlling. Shoots. It gets blocked off. As Cousins, I think that hit his skate in front of the net as he had parked there trying to provide a screen. As it gets sent all the way past Cousins back into the Thunderbird zone. Zwainfeld will collect. It was actually intended for the far side point man who had stepped in a little bit, and that's what caused the Thunderbirds here to regroup through the neutral zone. Cousins back over top in the zone. Around the wall, leaves it for Fortin below the goal line. Fortin, Cousins shot, it's blocked in the slot. And that's cleared all the way down. Zwainfeld had a stick on it, so that'll take away the icing. He'll take a bump from Parsons as he'll play it around for Price. Back for Zwainfeld. Lance had it poked off of his stick. And back here come the Voyageurs. Parsons, backdoor looking for Cowan as it goes under his stick. Cowan to the point. Walking, shooting, it's blocked. On the way through is unable to get that puck through. Was Keegan Morrison as here come the Thunderbirds, a chance trying to slide it backdoor. That's the same way Terrio scored his opening goal, trying to slide it backdoor and just get a stick on it and get it elevated. He had one hand on his stick the first time he did it for the first goal. As his team now leads by 2 thanks to him as he assisted the second goal. So Terrio with his fingerprints all over this game will stay out for the offensive zone draw. Mazeral out there with him. It's one back, puck goes off the glass and all the way Back into the zone of the Thunderbirds as Price up the middle. That'll find the man there as it's flipped over here. Intended for Terrio, was just out of his reach. Terrio makes it. Nice little chip play there. Give and go with Mazral getting it back, but one move too many is now Price is going to have to get back. And a breakaway and a shot. And what a burst of speed there from Saunier. As Saunier just got in around Price and elevated up over Boudreau. And we are all tied up once again here at 2 in Moncton. Luke Saunier make it his 6th goal of the season. And number 11, great job getting in front of the man, protecting the puck and getting it elevated. And we're back to a fresh start here, 2-2, with just over 3 minutes remaining in the second period. I believe they said Morrison got the assist on it. Luke Saunier from Keegan Morrison will be the tying goal here in the second period. Morrison, that's only his 2nd assist. That's his 5th point of the year. So Keegan Morrison having himself a pretty solid game here so far. As it's sent back down by Morris. So Morris, Morrison, McDonald, Muse. So Muse, McDonald, and Morris out there up front for the Voyageurs. Is a chance back the other way for the Thunderbirds. Centering pass in behind Chamberlain, who sticks with it. Chamberlain centers and a chance. And unable to get some lumber on it. Point blank in front. As now Muse pressures, turns it over, a shot short side and a glove save. As great job there to stick with it. Chamberlain, he centered it out in front. The intended target, I believe, for the Thunderbirds was number 25, Martin Carroll, but just unable to get some lumber on it. And it'll be right back the other way with an opportunity for the Voyageurs, where that'll leave them with the offensive zone draw. They'll lose it though, and out into the neutral zone. Hillier back up. Uvari, nice move there to stick with it. He'll take a bump for his efforts. Back out. Saunier, here's a chance. Saunier looking for number 2. Has it go off of his stick. Heads up. Hall stepping in, finishing his check. Hillier had it chipped around him. DeMille covering on the backhand. And an offside at the line there, is unable to wait up in time as Matthews was in, and it wasn't able to stop his feet from going in over the line was O'Connor. Learmouth back out to take the draw. Battle for it there. It's played back. Inside 2 minutes remaining here in the period. Forecheck of O'Connor turns the puck over. Fortin chipping it back down below the goal line. Kaz Hillier battling. 90 seconds remaining here in the second period of action. Fortin turns it over to DeMille. DeMille down the far side wall. Centers. Uvari shot there, and a glove save by Boudreau will hold on for the whistle. 1:11 remaining here on the clock. 2-2 the score in the second period, as O'Shea will join his squad out there. We'll see if the Voyageurs don't have maybe a face-off play here nearing the end of the period, trying to regain their lead they once had. That was all the way back in the start of the first period, as 2 unanswered goals, and now a response from Saunier, as here's Parsons finding the trailer. Shot there as Cound sailed one up over top of Boudreau. Nicholson, he'll leave that there, as inside a minute now remaining in the period. Cousins will chip it in. Cound reversing for Osmond. Turns it over. Here's Cousins, point blank in front, and a pad save. What a chance there for the Thunderbirds, looking to regain their 1-goal lead here with just over half a minute remaining in the period. As now an opportunity for the Thunderbirds. We'll see if they might have a little bit of a face-off play here. Maybe a quick hitter or a rim or a guy who maybe pops high in the slot. Looks like Lance is going to line up behind Mazeral here. We'll see if Theriault can tie the man up. They can win it back to Lance. Theriault drawing in on the draw, trying to slide it back door, but Mazeral unable to get there. Zwainfeld's shot got tipped off the leg as out comes the Voyageurs. DeMille for Snow. Ross drags the foot, stays on side here. Snow driving below the goal line. He'll stick with it. Playing it up the wall here, DeMille. Leaves it for Ross. Back, intended target is back here. 5 seconds remaining into the neutral zone. And a good defensive play as that's where the play looks like it's gonna die here. As Lance getting a little shot there from Ross at the end of the period. And that'll do it. So after 2, we are tied at 2 between the Voyageurs and the Thunderbirds. The goals in the second period coming off the sticks of number 22 for the Thunderbirds. That was Elliot Blaze with an absolute snipe for his second of the season. And for the Voyageurs was number 11, Luc Saunier, his 6th goal of the season to tie it up at 2. We'll be back here for the third and final period of regulation live on High Button Sports after this short intermission. welcome back here for the third and final period of regulation between the Voyageurs and the Thunderbirds. We're going to start this one 5-on-5. Thanks for tuning in here to High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers, and the third period is off and running. As it gets chipped in, Kairu to it first. O'Connor applying some pressure. As out come the Voyageurs through the neutral zone. Pass intended there for Saunier is behind him, and it's turned back here. Thunderbirds, offensive zone now. They look to get things set up here and get an early strike and get their 1-goal lead back. Each team had a 1-goal lead at one point in the game. Both teams coming back to tie it up as we start this one knotted at 2. O'Connor trying to cycle. Kairu read it. Plays it up the wall. O'Connor read that as Saunier on the centering attempt. He'll get center and send it back down below the goal line as Thunderbirds quickly back up ice. Here's Cousins. Over the line, 1-on-5 as the rest of his team changes. Cousins shot there and a save. Good job there by Jackson Gallagher. Temple is back. Here come the Voyageurs. That'll be chipped in by Parsons. Peters reverses for Steeves. Steeves up the wall. It's going to go all the way down. Will it have enough leg for icing? As Hall back for it, it will. And an icing call will be charged against the Thunderbirds. We'll have an offensive zone draw upcoming for the Voyageurs. It's going to be Cound, Parsons, and Osman, Hall, and Hillier on the back end as Hillier's going to step in on the point. Osman up high, flip it down below. Parsons centers between his legs. Puck still loose. Parsons, a little nifty move there. So he got it on the rim. He just kind of put it between his legs as another centering pass from Cowan. Turned over and out come the Thunderbirds. Just to center though as Hillier has it. He'll work it back up off the stick of Osman below the goal line. Steeves gathers. He'll reverse it right up the same wall. Peters trying to flip it out. Hillier intercepts it, walks in, shoots, and I think that hit the body of Steeves after it got deflected. Peters rims it around, takes a bump for his effort. It's not out. Hall stepped in from the point, tried to get it back down for Count. Hillier gives it to Nicholson a couple times, and the backside of ref is going to call him for a slash, and the Thunderbirds are going to head to the power play once again on a tap to the back of the legs on Nicholson. And the power play for the Thunderbirds, sitting at 14% in the game, looks to capitalize here on a slashing penalty to Kaz Hillier. Thunderbirds, they'll win the draw. Having some trouble setting up. Now they'll kick it across to the far side. Terrio, shot blocked off the skate. It looks like a Olmsted. Puck worked across for Mazeral. A battle with Morrison in front. Mazeral walks in, trying to tuck it in between the pads, and it's held on to for a whistle. Great job standing his ground. Jackson Gallagher. Temple down in the splits, keeps that puck out. Morrison in a battle there in front of the net with what it looks like to be Karin Lance. Face off, one back by the Thunderbirds. Cross ice pass, Terrio walks in, shoots, rebound, bobbling around. Great job there by Olmsted to tie the stick up, unable to get a shot away. Sharp angle shot and fought off once again by Gallagher Temple. Jackson Gallagher Temple in the old retro brown pads, trying to keep his team tied up as one as they try to kill off this penalty for slashing. Cross ice pass, rebound, kicked right out in front, and they score. A power play goal for the Thunderbirds. Puts them back on top by 1. Picking up the rebound in front, bearing it home. Looks like it's going to be Kyron Lance. found a little space free after battling hard with Morrison. And Kyron Lance, his 4th goal of the season, and an important one to give his team a 1-goal lead. Lance, his 4th of the season. We'll wait to hear the official assist call, but for right now, it's going to be Lance, his 4th on the year. Mazeral will pick up his 2nd assist. And I believe it was number 7 picking up the secondary one. They don't have a number 7, so actually, yes, they do. Terrio. So Terrio picking up his 3rd point and leaving more fingerprints on the game. As it's turned over, slot shot, and a blocker save. Fought off Boudreau. Steers it into the corner. Morris below the goal line. Centers out in front. McDonald poked off of that puck. Back to the point. Carew trying to get it back down low. McDonald's tied up there and was unable to. As out comes Fortin through the neutral zone. Fortin trying to make a move around Carew. As a good defensive play there and a good job to stick with it. Matthews on the forecheck. Reversed up for Muse. Muse can't get that puck out. It's down low. Here's a shot and a stick save steered away. Another chance out in front. Carew had it go off of his skate and below the goal line. Nice job there. Nicholson lays out the man there. He loses his glove. As he'll have to head off for a change as he laid out, I believe, Muse. I'm sorry, that was Morris who took the hit. As Cousins through center. Him and DeMille collide. Hall below his goal line. He'll chip it up the wall. Ross leaves it for DeMille. DeMille up over the blue line. He'll chip it wide. Had it chipped back behind him. Ross trying to follow it up. He'll center. Here's a chance. DeMille off that one. Just up over top of the net is point blank in front. I think Boudreau got a piece of it, but unable to clarify as it happened so quick. That shot from DeMille was an absolute rocket, but just sent up over top of the net. As it'll be regrouped here by Hall. He'll reverse. Heads up. That puck goes off the skate of Hillier and bobbled right out in front. And it'll force a whistle there as sharply onto that one was Jackson Gallagher Temple. JGT. A little bit easier to say that. JGT between the pipes for the Voyageurs. .46 remaining here in the 3rd period. 1-goal lead for the Thunderbirds as they have an offensive zone drop. Peters winds up. Fans on that as it trickles in onto JGT. So the nickname I've given number 30. A little bit quicker than Jackson Gallagher Temple, but you'll have to hold the fort for the Voyageurs as they trail by 1. Stevens stops up behind his own net. He'll chip it off the glass into the neutral zone. Cousins leaving it for O'Connor. Back for Cousins. It's chipped in. Cousins following up. Shoots, blocker save, rebound. Sat there momentarily, but it was cleared out of the harm's way. Good job defensively there, Zach Olmstead. And offside is at the line. And that'll stop play here. Both teams going to switch some utilities. Face-off will go just outside of the Thunderbirds zone. So the 3rd goal for the Thunderbirds coming off of the stick of Lance. The assist going to Terrio and Mazeral. So that's that'll be Terrio's 3rd point. He's got a goal and 2 assists. Mazeral, that's his 2nd point. He's gotten 2 assists now on the game. As the veterans and the leaders for the Thunderbirds trying to get within within 1 point here of the Voyageurs. They have a game in hand, so an important one here for the Thunderbirds. That puck cleared up to center. DeMille turns it right back over. Chamberlain cuts, shoots, and fans on that wide. Blais, one-timer at the point. It was left there on a platter for him. He'll send it high. O'Shea shoots. Blocker save. Rebound. In loose in front. And it's cleared up. Here's Saunier gathering it up through the neutral zone. Here Arvey. Uvari had to go off the stick of O'Shea, who plays it around. And he gets it right back. Nice feed and good job by O'Shea following up. He'll control it over the line. Good job there. Saunier playing defense. He gets pulled down as the Voyageurs wanted to call, as that was O'Shea. Took the bump from Saunier. Good defensive play there as here's Hall letting a shot go. As Saunier, the forward, covering for the D-man, and you see Hall there trying to jump in the play. Play some forward here as they trail by one. Face off. Blocker side. Cowan will dig in. Voyageurs wanted a call there. On the hold, they thought O'Shea brought down Saunier. As the Thunderbirds in their own zone, they'll clear it all the way down. It got tipped, no icing. As JGT played in behind his own net. It was Mazeral turning it over. Theriault shoots off the iron. As Theriault looking for his 4th point on the game. Had it go off the iron. He beat the glove, but unable to beat the red. Paint on the post was number 7. Covey Theriault. Bouncing off the end wall. Hall read it, picks it up. He'll chip it off the glass. That'll find Muse. Muse on to Cowan. Braden Cowan over the line. He'll drag it wide. Drive. He'll try to sneak it in the short side. Boudreau up for the task. Gets cleared all the way back. Out of harm's way by Zwainfeld. Cohen Boudreau having one of the more impressive games between the pipes I've seen this season. He's come up with a couple big saves and keeping his team up by 1. Is number 31 for the Thunderbirds. McDonald, he'll play it back right up the gut under the stick of Muse. Is now back. Cowan, he'll counter. Cowan shoots and a pad save. Rebound cleared to the slot. McDonald's backhand shot goes wide. Muse in there pressuring Price. Fortin trying to fish it out. McDonald will get in there as well. Trying to come out with it. He does. McDonald trying to make a move around Zwainfeld. Went off of his skate. And out come the Thunderbirds. Matthews over the line. He'll go one-on-one to the half wall. He'll stop up, wait for some support. He'll cycle it down low, but it goes right onto the stick of Morris, who chips it back. Snow will chip it in. Morris is going to pressure. Steves right up the wall, back into the neutral zone where Snow collects. Conroy Snow. Still no points on the season, but you can see he's trying. There's a chance there. Snow was waiting for it in front. Snow he does do all the little things right. Goes to the net, forechecks hard, he back checks hard. He isn't scared to go into the quote-unquote dirty areas and muck it up a little bit. Just unable to capitalize and finish his number 10. He's so close, though, as you saw a chance there for him, and I'm sure one will come here. And it'll come when he's least expecting it and most needing it. But number 10, I'll give him praise. He does a lot of little things right, and one will come for you, fella. Just wait. 10-13 remaining in the 3rd period. Offensive zone draw for the Voyageurs. They win it back to the point. Carew waits, shoots, tipped up off the glass as Parson got a stick on it, but unable to find anywhere as close to the net. As it's battled for there. Garhosky stepping in. It's played around him. Here's a 2-on-1. Nicholson has 4-10. Nicholson shoots, a pad save. Good job on the back check by Cowan, picking up the stick of 4-10. Cross ice pass picked off. As Parsons heard some footsteps, didn't want anything to do with that. As he'll battle for it and chip it down inside the zone as he took a hit there from Nicholson. Steves waits, plays it up through the middle. Parsons delivers a booming check on Steves, who gets the puck right back now as he'll wait behind his net. Steves waits. He'll move it out. With his feet, though, as he waits for someone to open up, he'll flip it into the middle of the ice, and it's turned back over. Hillier chipping it right back in. Steves just peels off for the change. O'Shea out for him as Osmond to it first. They'll try to spin away from pressure. Peter trying to work it back up the wall. Puck somewhere's in the fray in the far side corner. As a good job there. As a Chance Parsons tried to slide it back door where he was coming from. Cousins with a step. Takes away the icing. He tried to cut to the middle. Kaz Hilliard to it first. He'll reverse. As it's played around the far side, but turned over. Shot there, goes off the body of his own man. And out comes the Voyageurs. Osmond, long shot. It gets deflected wide and high. Hall, he'll rim it around the far side. Olmstead thought about going. Second guessed and then allowed the man to get there and chip it out past him. It's going to go all the way. No icing, though, is Saunier crossing over behind his net. He'll wheel up the wall. Now he's going to try to cut through the middle of the ice. Saunier up over the line. Saunier to his backhand. He'll stop up center. Here's Uvari, lets a shot go. Rebound off the glove, another chance. Saunier trying to bang it home, but Boudreau closing the door once again, keeping his team up by 1 here in the third. Shots after 2 were 13-10 in favor of the Voyageurs. As we were tied. As that shot tipped on, rebound, buried home, Uvari. Make it 3-3, and Uvari buries home the rebound, and we're tied up here once again in Moncton. Darcy Uvari, his 9th of the season. Make it 3-3, 8:02 remaining in the third period. Regulation, we might need a little bit more. This game, and a big hit there, running over his man. And an offside call is what a hit. Morrison tried to step up, but took the worst of it. As that was a thunderous hit there from Tanner Martin Carroll. As saw the man coming and stood him up right in front of his own bench. So that'll get a little bit of energy back in the legs for the Thunderbirds after giving up that most recent goal. As Martin Carroll, he'll play it back. Here's Price. Distance shot and a glove save right into that old retro style brown colored glove of Jackson Gallagher Temple. So still unsure about the assist as it happened very quickly off the draw. The assist is going to go to Luke Saunier and Keegan Morris. So Morrison will pick up his second point, and so will Saunier. They both now, Saunier with a goal and an assist. Morrison with 2 helpers on the game. Morrison only having 4 points in the game coming into this one, has now 6 as he's got 2 assists. He's got 3 goals, 3 assists now on the season. Is Karu trying to center. Unable to do so. That puck up into the neutral zone. Muse batting it away, trying to stop the entry of the Thunderbirds. Zwainfeld tried to follow it up, but it was turned back, and now the Thunderbirds are able to get it down in deep. Lance centers. It's picked off and back. Voyageurs. McDonald overskated it. Chamberlain picks it off. And it's turned over and turned back. Here come the Voyageurs. Heads up as Lance had the man lined up. Cowan sidestepped that as Cowan was in the train tracks of Mr. Lance. The train from Moncton, but just able to pop the clutch and slide out of the way before the train come. Braden Cowan got the shot away, and now an offensive zone drop. Puck shot on, rebound. Snow trying to bang it home as Snow is in there along with Ross, trying to bang one home to give them the lead, which they haven't seen since in the first period where they took the 1-0 lead. Then quick answer back from the Thunderbirds. They made it 2-1. As then it was 2-2, and then the Thunderbirds took the 3-2 lead. Now tying it back up recently are the Voyageurs as They have yet to had a lead since the opening goal of this game. They've come back twice now. Thunderbirds obviously coming back once, and that was at the start of the game. They went down 1-0 early. Snow keeps that in. He'll go battle now with Steves in the corner. Snow and Ross battling it out with Steves. There's a good support there from the centerman. That was Mazeral. He'll work it up into the neutral zone, trying to get it back. Snow in a good position there, picks the puck off. As that'll be stepped up there, Hall and Lance. It mixed up there behind the play. They got to be smart here. This play continuing. Don't want to take a penalty to cost them here in the last few minutes. Steves gets stumped on the far side by Hillier as Hall sidesteps a check there. Snow plays it up for Morris. Morris through the neutral zone. Good back check by Mazeral. As Steves now getting up to his feet. I don't know if he was a little bit injured or just couldn't get up to his feet. He took a big hit there. Centered. Hillier trying to bury it home. The defenseman all the way in front of the net after delivering a hit on one end, trying to give his team the 1-goal lead here in the third period. Kaz Hillier jumping up in the play. As I see the coach for the Voyageurs saying, boys, got to be smart here. No stupid penalties, nothing of that stature. I'm sure the same message being relayed over on the Thunderbirds bench. Don't want anything to cost your team here with under 5.5 minutes remaining in the period, where both teams are tied up at 3. Count on the draw, they'll win it back. Voyageurs control. Olmstead shot, goes off a leg and into the corner. Blaze, who had an absolute snipe in the second period, will send that all the way down. An icing call will be charged to the Thunderbirds. .5:12 remaining here in the last period of regulation. Will this one need extra time? We'll have to wait and see. An offensive zone draw for the Voyageurs. Picked up by the Thunderbirds. It's cleared back. Parsons dumping it right in on net. Delayed offside. It'll allow the Thunderbirds to clear it back. Here's Homestead, though, at center. He'll dump it off the backside of the official, Blay. He'll play it back in behind the net as it's controlled. Nice move there by O'Shea, using his net for some coverage as it gets rimmed all the way around to the short side. Here's a chance, nice little feed through Learmouth, but it was unable to connect cleanly. Now the Voyageurs, Parsons working it in over the line. A shot goes wide to the far side as Osman lost an edge. Back here comes Cousins down the far side on Karu. Karu got a stick on it. Terrio followed up, fanned on it, rebound sitting there. Terrio shot, another rebound and another save. Puck still loose, as I don't know why the whistle went. The puck was nowhere even close to the goaltender. The puck was all the way back at the hash marks. As I don't know how the official lost sight of the puck. The puck was bobbling around nowhere near the goaltender. And that one is an unfortunate whistle there for the Thunderbirds, as they had a glorious opportunity with 4:17. Now they'll have an offensive zone draw. They'll lose it, though, as the puck was loose, and Terrio had 2 chances at it, and so did, I think, Nicholson, as Uvari at the blue line turns it over. Now a turnover at center. Puck sits there pretty much right on the center dot, as it's a little bit of ping pong here between these two teams. Fortan's going to drive the net. It's played towards there, but Korhoski will play it up the far side wall, where Uvari will keep it moving. He'll chip it in, take a bump from Fortin as it's sent around. Saunier, he's sitting on 2 points in the game. He's looking for another one. Nicholson centers, gets dumped by Kaz. Hillier once again. Hillier laying the boom here as it gets chipped in by Saunier. Below the goal line, Zwainveld. Pressured Saunier, good stick there, knocking the puck away. He centers. Hall is going to step in to his backhand. Hall to his forehand, had it poked away from him. Now a foot race. Matthews trying to get there. Hall, good back check as it's sent right back up into the Thunderbird zone. Price stops behind his net. They'll set up a breakout. Played up ahead, Muse off the skate, trying to get it back in deep. Again off the skate at the blue line now. Muse sticking with it as him and Fortin battle. Back into the neutral zone now, though, is Nicholson. Turns it over to Cowan here, 2-on-2, has Muse driving. Braden Cowan driving wide to his backhand, trying to sneak it in. Unable to do so. Muse, though, to it first. He tried to center, fanned on it. Puck clear back into the neutral zone, all the way back under the stick of Morrison. Inside his zone, he'll get moving north. Morrison up the middle of the ice. Morrison turns it over at the blue line as Mazeral will dump that in. Terrio, sharp angle shot over top of the net. Centering all the way back. Peters unable to get a stick on it. That's not enough, though, for icing as Muse is going to apply a light pressure. He'll play it around. Steves backhands it up. Lance up ahead. Mazeral will chip that in. He'll try to give chase. Mazeral to it first. Centering as he had Terrio driving the net. Terrio finds Mazeral. Had it bounce over his stick. He sticks with it. Mazeral trying to find a man back door. Number 9 has a few points on the game. He looks, finds back door. Here's a chance. Point blank. Terrio shoots and a save. And what a nice one as you see Jackson Gallagher Temple pointing. Boys, the guy was wide open back door in Terrio. He sat there all alone. Mazeral, he's got 2 points in the game. He's got 2 assists so far. Alexander Mazeral up to 12 assists on the season. Looking to make it 13 there with a beautiful feed across for Terrio. My apologies. Terrio, who just couldn't pull the trigger fast enough, and it allowed JGT, and a point shot for Mazeral, and they score. I don't know if it was tipped in front, but Mazeral from distance with 1.5 minutes remaining exactly on the clock puts the Thunderbirds up by 1 here once again inside the Greenfoot Energy Center in Moncton. As that shot from distance, Mazeral is going to get a point. It's going to be his third. I don't know if someone got a stick on it in front or what, and a timeout will be called by the Voyageurs. And we will be back here in 30 seconds time for the last 90 seconds of regulation. The assist on the go-ahead goal for the Thunderbirds here with 90 seconds remaining in the third are going to go to number 5. That's going to be the D-man, Tyrus Peters, his second point of the season, and also to number 7, once again, Terrio, picking up his 4th point of the game. He's been in on all 4 of the Thunderbirds' a goal and 3 assists, so he's now up to 14 goals and 11 assists on the season, 10 assists on the season. As he went out to play, and that'll take away the icing. Maybe a little bit of a mistake there, as now the goaltender will go. Jackson Gallagher Temple to the bench, 6-on-5 here, a minute remaining. Off the bench, Parsons. He'll play it off the wall. Korharski. Saunier over. Shot there is up off the stick out of play as Karu tried to find a lane, and that puck goes up off a stick out of play. Osman, Hall, Cound, Ross are going to hop over for the Voyageurs. Karu is going to stay along with Parsons. 45 seconds remaining here on the clock in regulation. 1-goal lead for the Thunderbirds. Could really use a win here, a big one, as it's chipped down. Learmouth is going to pressure. It's going to be an icing call as Karu to it first. As Learmouth Maybe getting under the skin a little bit there. Karu, he has a couple words for him on the way back up the ice. It's an offensive zone draw now with 36 seconds. Hall, he'll play it D-to-D. Karu, he'll let a shot go. It's blocked by Learmouth. Into the corner, Learmouth gets pummeled by Parsons. Centered out in front, rebound and a shot and another save. Cohen Boudreau keeps the door closed and keeps his squad up by 1 here, 24 seconds remaining. Parsons delivered the hit in the corner on Learmouth and then drove the net, and Boudreau way out of his paint, making himself as big as he can into the chest and holds on. Face off, battle for puck. Loose, cleared to the point, not out. Karu, he'll walk in. He'll play it down the wall. Centered out in front, clear back, all the way down. Will it have enough for icing? It's going to go all the way back. Icing call. No, it won't, as it must have went off one of the Voyageurs players. As back, Cowan sidesteps a check there. Cousins picks it up for the empty net with 1 second, and that'll just about do it here, as I'm sure they didn't appreciate the shot after the buzzer from Cousins, but that'll do it here as the Thunderbirds take the victory over the Voyageurs by a score of 4-3. What a game we had here this Sunday afternoon, as that'll get you fired up for the Super Bowl this evening, as a 4-3 victory for the hometown Thunderbirds over the visiting Voyageurs on a game that went back and forth, I guess really up and caught up. And that will do it here for us. Thank you for tuning in live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. That'll do it for me. Have a great night. Enjoy the Super Bowl, and we will see you all later.